measurements down on the iPad, which I'm using for filming, so obviously that doesn't make a lot of sense to show you, but I have all the measurements, which means that now I can kind of start to set up the actual the shelf space. So I have a whole bunch of PVC pipes, which I'll be using, and we'll see how this goes. So cue the montage. You know, just me casually working in my room with a hacksaw. It's fine, my family's seen worse. All of them that I need, just the right length for the sides and the top. And we're gonna see what happens. So obviously that's not the real size, but this is more of a concept than anything else. So if I'm right, then probably not. But we'll try anyways. And we should. Here's this working area. I'm able to take this right here. That's a pretty space. Feeling pretty good about that. So it turns out that these guys are actually exactly 5 foot. We have 64 feet in the back of the car, which means that we have some wiggle room with these. We can probably just use this and not need to do any other fancy mumbo jumbo to get it to work, which is great news for us because it makes our lives so much easier. First things first, I'm gonna do a little shuffle, but that won't take long. Proof of concept time. Okay, so there's a pretty fundamental error already, and that is the seat doesn't extend as far as I would need it to. So what we're going to do instead, figure out how long this actually needs, which is right there, and cut it to about there. So we're looking at about here and here, which should give us plenty of space. Kind of fell apart as I was coming upstairs, so I have to try to remember how it gets, where it gets cut. That looks like a good place, but I honestly don't know. It's familiar. Anything at all. Maybe that was one of them. So remember, this register trademark thing here was one of them that I should cut it out. But it's down here on that one, which are surprisingly, not surprisingly, vastly different lengths. So I'm gonna go with this one, but so that's the short version. Oh, that's funny. And hey, if all else fails, I've got a fantastic start to a coffee table. So that's that. Fits over there. If I want it straight, it has to be on both seats. But if I want it to just fit on this one, I can do that, which is very good news. And you'll see why later, possibly. We'll see. And slides in real nice, just like that. Look at that go. It's like it got designed or something. Cool. So, great news. This fits perfectly, which means I can put it away. Yay! it has now been put away. The further issue is that this is nice, but it's only so tall. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to extend it up, put a hand this side, a hand this side. Be able to fit cartons in here and then hang stuff up on the top. So crossing my fingers this works. But let's see. So my guess is that this isn't going to be the right height, that this is almost come down a touch, but I'm not sure what I'm going to get outside. My guess is also that this is probably going to be a little too high, so probably this one will have to be over here, and this one will have to be So that works if I don't want to close the back door and don't mind a little bend in my pop. But let's see. So what I'm thinking is probably cut those down to about here, which you can't see, but there, and then these ones to about here. And that should give me exactly what I need. Here, though that's going to be a bit of a small gap. I'll be able to have a little bit extra space up here and hang stuff on that. So, nice. So good news, it works. Bad news is it falls apart very easily. Which is the problem with working with PVC, but it's just kind of the nature of the beast. But the proof of concept works, which is the most important part. So we just keep putting it back together as it falls apart. And I'll probably add duct tape to the corners like that, just to keep everything nice and tight. But in theory, again, this is theory, not practice, because it works. There's no way that's going to fit on top. However, yeah, just about slide it in there. Problem being, it might fall out, and that kind of bows it, which is going to probably cause issues further down the road. But it would be able to fit one or two in here. And we'll test this. There's the one that's too far out in the middle. Told you that. But something like that, I could fairly easily add something underneath right here, and you can sit on that. That way I have two spaces to hold stuff, and that could be clothes or food or whatever is necessary. The keyboard underneath, a little bit of space right here for other immediate grab things, and then I can use the top here for if there's any button button-downs or whatnot that need to be hung up, towels that are wet, can be hung right over here, be able to dry out while they dry. So I think it's a good design. Just, you know, PVC. Finally, it's time for everyone's favorite time, cleanup. Why am I sitting on the floor? I honestly have no idea. I think it's because I don't want to sweep. So, here's the thing. I put down this rug, right, to catch all of the stuff I was sawing. And then I realized it's much easier to just sweep it up from the, you know, wooden floor instead of trying to empty that into a trash can. Live and learn. I've hit that point where I just realized I don't think I've had water in the past few hours. And I'm not sure I had lunch either. I don't think that's healthy.